Well, hello, Viking fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Viking Talk with Coach Josh Morgan. I'm Brandon Davis, and as always, glad to have with me Warren Central head football coach Josh Morgan. Coach, good to see you this week.
You too, Brandon.
Well, Coach, we had a tough week last week, a 21-3 setback against a very good Brandon Bulldog team. You had a chance to watch the film, digest that, and work it over with your staff. So tell us what you guys saw from the film study.
The biggest thing was, came away feeling good about some things, but also probably more frustrated and disappointed in some areas as well. So, we try to take the good from it and the bad from it. But I thought that we played the type of game that we wanted to play. I'm talking about as far as possession and the way the game was playing out. And, it kind of made it our type of a game. Thought we did good with the time of possession, slowing down their tempo for the most part. I think the name of the game where we came up short was we missed some opportunities that we had, and we had them. We had some opportunities, and I thought that their players really made big plays in clutch situations that got them out of some certain jams, and I thought that we missed some opportunities. And I think if you look at the game and evaluate it, it really comes down to they made some plays in some big-time situations, and we weren't able to. And so, again, did some good things, thought we had a good plan. I really felt like the game could have swung at any moment if we could have made a play or two, especially early on. I thought we had a rough second quarter. So disappointed that we didn't come up with the win, but hopefully we can use this to get better.
Well, your defense played well, Coach. They held Brandon to 21 points. That's the least amount of points they've been scored all season, so that's a positive. But a couple of big plays, and you talked about that, really hurt us at some key times and set them up for scores to really put them ahead going into halftime, up 21-3. How do you improve in that area to minimize on those big plays in the passing game?
Well, their quarterback made some really good plays, and I don't know if he's not there. With all the talent that they have, I think he's their MVP. He really makes them go and made some really crucial situations. We've got to get better. We've really the last 2 weeks with Brandon and Oak Grove, we've given up uncharacteristically big plays in the passing game, and we're still trying to improve in that area as long as other areas as a team as well. But I think it goes hand in hand. We've got to do a good job of pass rushing to put pressure on the quarterback, and we've got to do a better job when the ball's in there. I think a couple of their big plays they caught was, we've triple teamed, double teamed. Got to be better players when the ball's in the air, be better athletes, and again, it's an area that we've got to improve, and we've got to get it fixed quickly.
Well, some of the plays, Coach, and I know it's something that you have to deal with, is that you got a player they want to make a play. Some of those plays on those deep balls probably could have been batted down, but maybe you went up for an interception. How do you coach and teach and say, hey, it's okay just to knock that ball down instead of trying to make the big play?
Rule number one is they don't catch it, and our kids hear it every day, and so we've got to do a better job of that, making the play, and making sure that he don't catch it. Yep. And that can't be overstated enough, and so again, got to be better in those areas. Again, there are guys making plays and we didn't, and we've got to be ready for those moments and make big plays.
Well, offensively, we did have some struggles, but we did look good between the 20s, Coach, moving the ball. But you got in the red zone, it seemed like we stalled a little bit. What did you guys see from the offense on Friday night, and is there any concern at this point of the season?
I think concern would be, justly so. I think, we haven't gotten or eclipsed the 150 yards rushing since the Forest Hill game, and that's what we want to do. That's what we need to do. It's the type of ball club and personnel that we have. So we're going to continue to work on that extremely hard. And also when defenses buckle down on you and go zero coverage and just totally sell out to stop the run, we've got to do a good job of being able to make them pay, and also improving our red zone offense. So, again, being able to run the football when everybody knows you're going to run it, and also being able to beat man coverage, protect our quarterback, and give us some time to complete passes when that area gets confined and people put their red zone defense in you. So a great look at what a big-time game, a big-time opponent looks like. A lot of things that we need to get cleaned up and get fixed, and hopefully we'll have another chance and be better in those areas. But that's what we're going to see from here on out. You're in district, and everybody is fighting, and everybody is capable of making the playoffs, and really good opponents. And we're going to have to really clean up some stuff in winning time, winning situations that we've got to be better at.
Yep, right in the heart of the region play, into starting to look at playoff seedings. It's getting serious now. It's not easy anymore.
It's not going to get easier. It's only going to get tougher every week.
That's right. Well, not everything was negative, I guess you would say, the past week. We had a big event here Tuesday night where our junior highs took on Vicksburg High. Our 7th and 8th grade teams both came away with big wins over Vicksburg's team. And Coach, I got to see something from you I've never seen. You were sitting in the stands, being a dad, enjoying a game. Your oldest son, Nash, is a 8th grade quarterback. He's going to be on our freshman squad next year. But you had a chance to be the dad, had the whole family here, like, 50 Morgan kids and all around having a good time. But how difficult was it for you? Because I know how you are. I know the mindset. You're always coaching and thinking. But for you to be able to change roles, change hats, to sit in the stands, enjoy to watch him play, how different of a dynamic was that for you?
It's different for sure. We have I feel that we have a really great environment for a youngin' to grow up in, football-wise, and so it was pretty surreal and neat for me to be able to sit just like you and watch your child go through that and be able to experience that and just want them to have fun and enjoy it all. And so I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it, and it was fun to watch them play, and I'm glad they got to win.
Well, you were a quarterback when you were here, right?
I was.
You think he's going to be better than you?
I hope so.
Definitely better than Rob, right?
That's right.
Well, this is Viking Talk. We're visiting with Coach Josh Morgan. Coach, this week, travel back over to the Brandon-Flowood area. We're going to take on a Northwest Rankin team in region play. What can you tell us about the Cougars?
Well, they're a team that is, right now, they're sitting at the top of our district, them and Brandon. Both of them are 2-0. They have really done a good job, really the last 2 weeks. So they played a tough non-district schedule, just like just about everybody does these days. And I think Clinton and Madison Central beat them early in non-district, two really good football teams. Then they beat Meridian and they beat Terry. So they're sitting at 2-0, and they have gotten hot here of recent, and I think they are your typical Northwest team. Very talented, big offensive line. I think that's their strength. They have moved some players around and trying to find a way to win, and they have done just that. And well coached, play hard. So we're going to have to be at our best again and competing. And this is a team that's ranked ahead of us right now in the district, and it's a big game for us. And not only are we having a very good opponent, but I'm anxious to see our guys respond. We had a good week so far, and I'm anxious to see us respond in another hostile environment, and really big time district opponent.
Yeah, they're led by running back Dylan Lewis, a young man who's become their workhorse, 134 yards on the ground, 8 touchdowns on the young season so far. He's not the biggest guy, Coach. He weighs in about 5'9", 160 pounds, but you talked about that offensive line. They have some very big offensive linemen there that he can hide behind and sneak out into the flats on you. Discuss the challenges of trying to corral him and minimize the damage he does this week.
Well, this coaching staff is known for just doing whatever they can do to find ways to win. And, last year they put their best player at quarterback the time that district rolled around, and had some success there, and gave us a tough time last year with him. But this is what they've done. They've put their best player at tailback, and they turn around and hand it to him. He's touching the ball a lot. And again, offensive line-wise, they have 3-4 returning starters from last year's team. Very big, very physical, and it's going to be a hard-fought battle in the trenches, and we've got to do a good job of not only stopping the run but getting off the field, because they'll wear you down if you allow them to stay on the field and have long drives up and down the field. So we've got to do a good job and help ourselves in that area.
Well, they've got a tackle that transferred over from Hartfield. I believe he's 6'8", Coach. He'll be the biggest young man on the field tomorrow night. He'll be easy to recognize. So he's one of their bookend tackles, done a good job for them. They don't seem to have a big threat in the passing game standpoint, statistically wise, but it's possible you might see multiple quarterbacks from them this year. Another starter, he struggled a little bit, so you may see some different quarterbacks. What have you seen from their quarterbacks so far on the film, and what are you expecting to prepare for both them? And they do have some very good wide receivers. So
They do.
Quarterback and wide receivers, what are you expecting tomorrow night?
I was just going to make sure you knew they have two very good receivers. Now they've had a tough time getting into them sometimes, but very tall, rangy, athletic receivers that definitely will put fear into your secondary and when you're watching them on tape. So they have that capability. And we've got to do a good job. That's an area that we've struggled in here of late. And, of course, Brandon and Oak Grove had a lot to do with that. Right. But, again, that's what we're going to see, week in and week out. Every team we play have those guys on the edge. So this will be the common thing that we see the next couple of weeks. And, we need to play better back there. We're going to have to do a good job not only stopping the run, but also we need to be able to stop it without bringing everybody in the box and leaving some help back there on the back end. So there's a fine line of when to bring pressure and when not to, and always try to have a safety over those receivers.
Yeah, defensive line play really is probably a secondary's best friend.
It is.
Of getting back there and putting pressure on their quarterback, so you don't have to bring everybody.
That's exactly right.
Right. So they are 2-3 on their record, as we mentioned. They're 2-0 in region play. Coach Cooper always seems to do a good job of getting them ready for region play. Defensively, they're giving up 27 points per game during region. Do you feel and we don't want to get too caught up in the statistics, Coach, because last year they came in and surprised us with a surprise victory. But do you feel confident with our offense that we may have some good opportunities on Friday night to capitalize against this defense?
I feel confident in us when we were at our best and when we're dialed in, locked in, and we have that right kind of mindset. I feel like we can be as good as anybody, and I mean that. And I feel like, and that's what we've got to get to: consistency, taking advantage of every drive, every possession, every play. Cleaning up some stuff and pre-snap penalties. As soon as we feel like we're turning that page, we go back and we have some more problems there. It's just not good starting drives at 1st and 15 or whatever that looks like. So we've got to do a better job staying in front of the chains, executing, and really getting our running game cranked up and going. And I'm anxious to have another opportunity to do that. Feel like we have some very good backs, and I'm going to be leaning on them and expecting them to be difference makers. And so that's what we got to get to, and we got to get to quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Well, Coach, their leading tacklers for Northwest Rankin come from the linebacker and secondary position. So when you're facing a three-man front like we're going to be seeing with them this week, how important is it for the offensive line to get up to the linebackers to get penetration? Past couple of weeks, Oak Grove and obviously against Brandon, we struggled in that area. So how important is it for us as offensive unit, offensive line, to get back on track?
Yeah, we got to get a good push up front, but anytime, the team's playing this 3-3 stack defense, and it basically allows them to have, in a sneaky kind of way, 8 men in the box. And what it does also is it puts several people on the second level, linebackers, as you mentioned, that are able to have run-throughs, slip through on your double teams, and it makes your offensive linemen get vertical and up the field. In an area where offensive linemen is, not very comfortable with, is moving in space and getting up to second level. And I think that fits their personnel right. So we have to do a good job of keeping our eyes up, because, again, another thing is they can come from anywhere. And so that defense definitely creates certain mismatches, certain problems. And the way we'll combat that is several different ways. But as you mentioned, we've got to get vertical. We've got to get on our double teams and get a good push, but we also going to need to get to the edges when we can. So again, excited. Hopefully we can play like we're capable of, in our opinions, and think a lot of our team, think a lot of our guys, and we just want to play good and try to be at our best and see what that looks like.
Some very good news that came our program's way this week. Trey Hall, our outstanding receiver, running back, jack of all trades, was selected to the Bernard Blackwell All-Star Classic game. Coach, this is something I know you take great pride in, of seeing our players being selected these All-Star games. The past few years we've had numerous selected. So discuss Trey and what this means to both you and the program.
Yes, this is several years in a row that we've been able to put guys on these all-star games, and it's such a big honor. Number one, Mississippi has some mighty good talent in it, and mighty good coaches in it, mighty fine players, and when you get picked like that from other coaches around the state, and it's a big honor to not only Trey the player, but also us as a program and us as a school and a community. And I know Trey will represent us all in a manner that's how we want to be represented. Work hard and do right and be pleasurable. And so excited about him getting that recognition. And know he'll make us all really proud.
Yeah, great opportunity for Trey. Congratulations to you, for you and your family. Enjoy the moment. This will be a great time for you. So, talk about this week's practice. How did things go for you guys?
Well, we had a good meeting Monday, and it was it was important that we were all back in the saddle and everybody pulling the rope in the same direction. That was my first priority, is making sure that we were good moving forward, but also when tough times hit and we felt like it was a tough time. Look, there's nobody around here that wanted to hang in there with Brandon. We wanted to win, and that's how we expected it. And that's we were hurt. Everybody was, and that's a good thing. Like, we didn't want to play them close. We didn't want to hang in there with them. We didn't want to. We were preparing, and we were fighting and clawing and trying to win. And that's what I told them coming out of halftime is come out this next half and give us a chance to win. And it was a 0-0 ball game, and I was proud of our team for the way we responded in the second half. But our response this week has been good. Felt like we had a good meeting. I feel like everybody just wants to get better and fix some problems. We addressed some problems and shine some light on some areas that we need to get better at, from everything from preparation to performance to how we approach games in big time moments. And man, if we can get better from it, sometimes a loss is one of the best things that can happen to you, and all we can do is approach it like that and get better from it. So we had a good week responding. Now we need to have a good week, good Friday night in a response, and respond like champions and continue to grow.
Well, I know this is a football talking show. Otherwise, Randy Broom would be if we were talking baseball. But, Coach, think about it from a baseball standpoint, and Coach Tim Hughes and I talked about this. As a baseball skipper and a baseball team, if you lose, most of the time you got next day that you can get back out there and play again. In this situation here, you've got to wait an entire week, and I know how proud you guys all were of this program and everything like that. How difficult has it been, and how anxious are you to get back on the field and try to, I guess, redeem this team? I mean, how difficult is that?
Yeah, it's a win. It seems like it flies by when you lose. That week drags on, and those days, that weekend just is. You can't really enjoy your weekend because you're trying to get things. You got stuff on your mind. It is what it is. Losing is no fun, and we have been fortunate and blessed around here to win more than we lose. And we don't like that, and we don't expect that, and our kids don't like it. Coaches don't like it. Losing is no fun. So we're ready to get that taste out of our mouth, and hopefully we can. We're going to have to earn that. It's not going to get easier on us, and nobody's going to feel sorry for us. But this is football, man, and this is what makes it so good for these young men. That's life for you. It sounds like life, don't it?
It does.
And the ups and downs that comes with it, and you're bad and you're good, and being true to who you are and having a good team around you and good teammates. And that's another thing we talked about, is just enjoy our journey. We don't know what it's going to look like down the road. All we can do is handle the next day in front of us and having a great outlook and positivity and, really practicing what we preach. And but, yes, we were all ready to play and been ready to play.
Well, at least you're not 0-2 this year. We were 0-2 going in this game last year, so it's positive. There's a lot to look forward to. So, Coach, keys to victory against Northwest Rankin.
Well, we talked about it earlier on. We need to look like Warren Central when we run the football. We need to do good in that area, and I feel like defensively, as you mentioned, I feel confident in our run game defense. We're going to have to do a really good job defensive back-wise and in the secondary, and as you mentioned as well, D-line, we all play a part in eliminating big plays and down the field vertical throws as far as that goes. So those are, to me, running the football and really taking care of the big plays on the back end of our defense, and also putting points on the board. You know, in that red zone, we need playmakers to step up. You know, as the year is progressing, you can see guys really keying in on Maddox in our passing game and trying to play over the top of Zach, and we're going to have to be able to adjust and really metamorphose into different things and different ways to attack. And we need some different people to step up and make us harder to defend. And so there's a big challenge upon us right here. I can't wait to see how we respond and our team responds. This is a big week for us. And so excited about watching them play. They're going to have a great kicker. I always do. Northwest Rankin always has a good kicking game. I think he's in that all-star game as well. And I'm excited, and our kicker ain't too shabby himself. So that's going to be a battle that, if nothing else, if we can have a push in special teams, that would be really big for us.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you.
Thanks, man.
I'm excited about this week. A great atmosphere over at Northwest Rankin, so should be a good game.
It will be.
Well, folks, we're going to thank you for joining us this week. Next 2 weeks, we're going to be on the road. Obviously, this week at Northwest Rankin. Then the following week, we head back east to go over to Pearl. We're not going to be back home until homecoming when we take on Terry in a few weeks, but hope that you'll join us. We'll get a chance to pack our bags and go east a few times, put some more miles on the road, but it's going to be a good time. As Coach said, this has been a great journey so far, and we appreciate everything that you do to join us and helping these kids out and helping them get better. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of the show. Next week, we'll talk about the results of this one. We'll look ahead to Pearl, but that's going to do it for this week. For Josh Morgan, I'm Brandon Davis. We'll see you next week, same time, but until then, rise up, Vikings.